talk real quick. I want to talk about the topic that is very familiar to a lot of people. And that topic is addiction. The way I see it, addiction is a disease. And it's a disease that affects millions of people worldwide. Everybody, I don't think I've ever met a single person that hasn't struggled with addiction at least some point, or at least some point of time in their lives. And, it could take many forms, be it substance abuse, gaming, gambling. There's even an addiction to certain behaviors such as shopping or eating. You can be addicted to eating. And any activity that becomes excessive and starts to negatively impact your life can be classified as addiction. Right? So, addiction, it changes a person. Like when I say that it starts to negatively impact your life, can be classified as an addiction. Addiction changes a person in ways that are often hard to recognize. It alters our behavior. It alters our emotions, the way that we feel. It alters our relationships. And, we could start acting differently, becoming more secretive and guarded when we try to hide our addictive behavior from others. Sometimes we'll be addicted to something and maybe we feel guilty about it, and we know that we need help with it, but we don't want people to shame us, judge us, laugh at us. Sometimes we will lose interest in things that once brought us joy and instead focus all of our attention and our energy on our addiction. But thank God there's hope. There's always hope, right? Addiction isn't a life sentence. There's always a way out. And I can say that, I can be proof of that. I was once trapped in that vicious cycle of addiction myself. I was a victim of lust, and many other things. And I never thought that I could break free from that stronghold that it had on me. And I thought that I was doomed to be a slave to that addiction forever. I was making future plans, keeping in mind of that addiction, thinking that it was going to have that much of an impact on me, that it was going to follow me into my adulthood. But I was wrong. And with the support of the people around me, my loved ones, my friends, my circles, and my own determination to change my life, I was able to take those first steps towards breaking free from addiction. It wasn't easy, and shoot, it still isn't easy. The temptation to fall back into my addictions is a battle that I fight every day. every day, especially in a school setting where I'm surrounded by people who walk in those addictions. It's a constant battle, and to this day it requires a lot of hard work and commitment, but it is the best commitment I have ever made. I have never been happier ever since I let go of those addictions. And I know a lot of people that have let go of their addictions, and you can see them glow when they walk, when they talk, when they're just sitting. You can see how much their life has been impacted because they were able to break that stronghold and be able to let go. And as I started my journey towards, recovery, I realized that addiction was not just about the substance or the behavior. It was about filling a void. It was about numbing a certain pain or escaping from reality. And for many, many people, that's what it is. I could say that's how it was for me, but when I really sit back and I look around, that's all it stems from. Somebody's hurt and they lost something, someone, and then they have a void. And they don't want to feel or notice that void, so they find something and they try to replace it. And that pain that they have from that void, they'll try to take something and they try to replace it, or they'll just try to numb it. They try to block out that feeling that's there. Or sometimes that person is just not, like, their surroundings just aren't the way that they want them to be. And they find an addiction that will help them escape from their reality. But what we fail to realize is that true happiness and fulfillment cannot be found in a substance or a behavior. It really, really cannot. It lies within us. We hold that power to break all of that off of us. We have the power to break free from those chains of addiction, and we have the power to grow into the best version of ourselves. I'm sorry. Let me calm down a little bit. It's not an easy journey. It's really not. But it's definitely a rewarding one. Nothing in life comes easy. Nothing in life is free. I mean, shoot, your mama says money don't grow on trees. Same thing here. You gotta work for it. But you're going to love that you did. And when we distance ourselves from that addiction, we start to rediscover who we really are. I never truly knew who I was until I was able to break off that addiction. And I don't know, maybe I'm still in that process of finding myself, but I've never been closer to me than where I am today. And I mean, shoot, we learn to find joy in the little things. We rebuild relationships with our loved ones. We learn to love ourselves, and I feel like that's the most important part. We become so dependent on that addiction that we tell ourselves that we love it. And we fail to realize the impact that's making on us. And we end up loving that addiction more than we end up loving ourselves, because we fail to notice what it's doing to us. And the moment that we break free from that, that's when we finally realize how to love ourselves and who we are, where we are meant to be, because we no longer have that anchor attached to us. It's just like climbing a mountain. Just like it's the journey towards recovery that may seem daunting at first. The idea of it may even seem like terrible. But with each step that we take, we get closer to the summit. And I mean, shoot, the view is breathtaking. And I guess all I can say is that you can't be afraid to make that first step, because it's going to leave you a life full of possibilities. I know y'all seen those posters that's like, when one door closes, another one opens. Another door opens up full of opportunities and possibilities. And I know it's corny, but it's true. Like, those posters, they ain't lying. But what I'm trying to get at is, I mean, I can't urge anyone, or I can't force anyone to, you know, seek help and break from that addiction. But I urge it. I recommend it highly. And, you know, I urge that you realize that it's never too late to turn your life around. No matter how much that addiction has hurt you and brought you down, it's never too late to climb back out of that hole that you dug for yourself. Or that addiction, that you allowed that addiction to dig for you. It's never too late to dig out of it. And for those who have already taken that step towards recovery, you know, I applaud you. And I encourage you to keep going. And I want you to remember that you are stronger than your addiction, and you have the strength within you to break free. You have the strength to grow into the best version of yourself. You have a circle, or you can make a circle that will help you become the person that you aim to be. Again, you're never alone. You are never alone. 8 billion people in this world. There's always going to be, there's 8 billion people. You can't tell me that there's not a single person that'd be willing to help you. There's always somebody. So don't think that you gotta fight it alone. But, you know, that's all I got.